Yamin, have you noticed something different?
I have.
You have? We have so many dice now!
And I can play elves, like the elves deck I played like a few weeks ago. I can play that now and have a die for every single elf that the Defiler of Vigor.
And more! You can even play Planeswalkers. Would you like to use these new dice to high roll?
Yes.
Welcome to the Cardmarket feature match, where we play Paper Magic.
Yeah, because Paper Magic is awesome. But do you know what, Carl? 1 year ago, we tested out Pioneer pre-constructed decks.
Because they were great. They're actually surprisingly powerful.
They were really, really good. You can go back. They're less relevant these days, but I don't know. Maybe you still want to pick them up from your game store. I don't know. Anyways, new pre-constructed decks were supposed to be releasing around this time, but they've been delayed. But the deck lists are public.
Yeah, luckily we know exactly what we're playing, so we're trying them out ahead of time. Maybe in December you can watch these and decide which ones you want to buy, or buy all four of them.
So
play
today,
them with your friends.
Carl is Mr. Dimir and I'm Mr. Gruul.
I'm Mr. Dimir. Okay, well next week I'll be Mr. Orzhov and he'll be Mr. Izzet.
Yeah, but I mean, to be an Izzet person, it's all about creativity and being a genius, and a genius move would be to go down there and subscribe right now.
Genius indeed, because it really helps us grow the channel, show other people, and it lets you know when we release the next Pioneer video. But we won't waste any of your genius time any longer.
Yeah, we'll get into the games right now.
Pioneer Precon season is always a time that I love. I love Pioneer, and the Precons are usually quite strong, and they fit into the format. They're an easy, cozy niche for new players to put themselves in and duvet blanket themselves into the format. The ones this year are not exactly as powerful as the ones last year, but we do get one that I was excited for, Dimir Control. Now, unfortunately, it's not Blue-White Control. The Blue-White Control deck is an actual deck in Pioneer. Unfortunately, it revolves around Wandering Emperor and Teferi. Those cards are way too expensive. It's a bunch of mythics. They probably would not throw that many into the precon. So instead, we have Dimir Control, which is a great launching pad if you ever want to shift into Blue-White Control or play straight up Dimir. The game plan is a typical control deck. You want to trade 1 for 1 and draw more than your opponent to bridge yourself into the late game where you get to play a big powerful spell. In this case, our poison of choice is Torrential Gearhulk and Dig Through Time. The way you make Dig Through Time good is you play Consider, you play Censor, you play Sinister Sabotage, you use your Field of Ruins on your opponent's lands, you get enough cards in your graveyard that eventually just for 2 mana, you take the best 2 in the top 7 of your library, and the card advantage is usually insurmountable. Then you beat your opponent down either by hardcasting a Shark Typhoon or making one big enough that you can defend it, or just Torrential Gearhulk, either flashing back Dig Through Time for an absurd amount of value, or just flashing back your important spells and beating your opponent down that way.
Carl asked me to pick any of the pre-constructed Pioneer decks that are releasing soon, and I like turning creatures sideways, so I picked Gruul. The deck is, you know, a classic Gruul deck. You've got Llanowar Elves, Elvish Mystics ramping into creatures. It's not actually a meta deck in Pioneer right now, but I'm interested to see how it matches up against Carl's Dimir Control. I've got some very good cards, all the Hasty Threats, Questing Beast, Glorybringer, Chandra. Those are all great against a control deck, and then some bad cards, like there's an Abrade, and like some of the interactive spells just don't line up. I'll see how it goes.
The Opulence.
Oh my goodness.
19? I go. This is not as easy.
That seems way more because that's, oh my goodness, that's 18.
25, all right, that's quite good. This makes it a lot harder for me to place them back in a neat order though. I wish you a good hand.
Thank you.
And we'll have a lot of fun.
We will.
This hand is pretty 50-50, but I know what I'm playing against, which is relevant here. I have a spot removal spell, so I'll probably just kill the biggest thing that I can on turn 2. And then on turn 3, I'm gonna either hope I draw a blue source, or I can just Field of Ruin whatever non-basic land Yamin has, get that blue source, cast my Consider, fill up my graveyard for that Dig Through Time. I have a game plan. It's about 50-50, but I think I'm gonna keep this one, Yamin.
This hand showcases perfectly why you shouldn't cheap out on your mana base when building tournament decks. Having only basic forests available, I can't cast any of my actual important spells, so ship it. I don't think mine is a 50-50, I'll just mulligan this.
All right, good luck.
Carl, you know a fun word that I haven't said in a long time?
I concede?
That's 2 words.
I tried.
It's mulligan again.
Yamin, that's 2 words as well.
No, it's 1 word. I just make it 1 word. It's
Dictionaries 2023, Jamin Carl,
yeah,
mulligan again.
Stop it right there because I don't need to mulligan again. This hand's much better than my first 7. It doesn't have Llanowar elves, but the other threats in the hand are very potent against Carl, and I can actually cast them. I'll bottom the Abrade because, well, yeah, Carl isn't really playing any creatures. He's a control deck. Yeah, seeing our matchup, this one will go to the bottom.
All right, can I kick it off?
You may.
I'll play a Swamp.
Yeah.
Consider it kicked off. It's your turn.
It is properly kicked off, and I'll draw back up to 7. I will play a tapped Rockfall Veil and pass the turn.
I'll draw. All right, I'll play a Swamp. And the turn is yours once more.
Oh, nothing going on here.
Yeah, I brought the 5th precon mono black.
I'll play Forest. Carl passing with 2 black mana up smells like a removal spell, and I really don't want to let him be mana efficient, so I'm not going to cast the creature here. Instead, I'm just going to throw the Bone Crusher Giant at him during his turn, because that actually, you know, achieves something. And I will pass the turn.
Oh, it's one of those games.
Yeah, I brought the 6th precon, green-red control.
Very strong. I will draw for turn. Well, this staring contest really suits my game plan, so I'm going to play Field of Ruin. Just pass the turn back over to you.
I shouldn't have played that Rockfall Veil, should I?
Well, you can get a mountain.
I mean, I can, but seeing how you're playing mono black, I didn't buy the 5th precon thing, you know. I don't assume you're on mono black. I assume that you're actually on blue black, which is what you... I don't know.
I will, in fact, take 2.
All right, down to 18. I assume I may untap?
Yes, you may.
All right, take my draw. I mean, now that I've entered non-basic territory, I'll play that my 2nd Rockfall Veil.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna, you know, play the giant.
Oh, he's coming out.
And
gallivanting through the meadows. End of turn.
Yep.
I'm going to knock down one of those Rockfall Veils with my Field of Ruin. We each get a basic. Look how pretty my lands are. Oh, you came with the same.
Yeah, I did.
And then, I'm mana efficient, Jamin. I will use this island to consider.
That's very mana considerate of you.
Mana considerate indeed. I will look at the top card. Don't want it. It's another one of these. So I will draw for turn. I will play an island and pass the turn.
That's very suspicious, Carl. I'll untap.
Yes.
I'll take my draw. I'll head into the red zone, Carl.
So the decision here is kind of painful, but I think I'm going to have to Heartless Act. Your Bone Crusher Giant. There will be a trigger. Yes, I'll take 2. Killing the Bone Crusher Giant here, it hurts. But I don't have a lot of board wipes, and I need to get to that dig spree time in my hand. I need cards in my graveyard, and taking the 2 damage here means I won't be taking 4 and then 4, and it'll bridge me into that spot where I can finally wipe the board.
The Bone Crusher is dead indeed. I've got kind of a tough decision here because either I play Chandra, which takes up all of my mana, and if Carl has a counterspell like Censor or something, it wastes my entire turn. Or I play Scavenging Ooze, which is equally bad if Carl should have a removal spell. I'm gonna go with Chandra because, in my opinion, it has the higher upside. If it does happen, Carl is under a lot of pressure. I'll put you on the spot here, Carl. I'll play a mountain and cast a Chandra, Torch of Defiance.
I was really, really not hoping for that. Unfortunately, Jamin, that will resolve.
I'll take 1 die.
There's only 2 of those in your deck. I was really not hoping.
I'll plus it. I'll exile the top card of my library.
You most likely can't play it. Ouch. I'll take 2.
I can't. Down to 14.
This is going to take a lot to catch up from. This deck does not deal with Planeswalkers very well.
I'd love to hear that.
I am going to consider my options. I'll look at the top card. I'll put it in my graveyard. I'll draw. I'm going to tap. I'm going to draw. I am going to choose to play an island. And you know what? Pass the turn.
All right. I like the sound of that.
More Chandra action.
Now I kind of have to consider how to put on the pressure the best. A good way to do that is just keep plussing Chandra.
Keep on ticking up.
So I'll exile a forest.
I'll take 2 down to 12.
I'll play a forest and I will cast a Scavenging Ooze.
That one's really good against me. Okay, I will choose to pay a cost.
Okay.
As it enters the battlefield, as it's on the stack.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay 2 and exile all 6 cards from my graveyard. Nah, no ooze food for you. Well, there'll be one Ooze food.
All right.
I'm going to cast a dig through time.
Sure.
Look at the top 7 cards in my library. Ugh, there's a lot of really powerful cards in my hand. Unfortunately, we're going to have to take the more boring ones, specifically because we have to get rid of that Chandra. And that Scavenging Ooze is real bad news for us. Luckily, we have a Drown in the Lock, and killing both of those permanents mean a lot of the creatures he can cast are now live to be killed with Drown in the Lock, and it could get another Chandra. So we're going to have to Fatal Push the Ooze, and then use the Murderous Rider to get rid of the Chandra, then cast it, and hopefully build up our defenses and our life total from here, sniping whatever other creature he plays with the Drown in the Lock. I'm going to take these 2, put them underneath.
Dig Through Time, such a good card.
Quite strong, and it will resolve.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, you can start eating my stuff. End of turn, I'm going to push the Ooze.
I guess I will eat your Dig Through Time.
That makes sense.
And then this gets pushed into the graveyard.
It's kind of icky. I can just imagine the sound it makes. I draw for turn. I'm going to take 2 and destroy with Murderous Rider. The you go to 10.
I do.
It's on an adventure.
I wanted to keep that Chandra around.
Do you think the Bonecrusher Giant and the Murderous Rider have the same kind of adventures?
The Murderous Rider could enter a building, for example, right?
I would not let him into my building.
Maybe he'll force himself in or something, whereas the Giant just
can
cannot.
also force himself in. It usually destroys the said building. Enough lore discussion. It's your turn.
End of turn. We'll just find out.
I'm going to counter the Stomp with Drown in the Lock.
I wanted to find out about our
his adventures.
Joint adventures. Very annoying.
All right, it's your turn.
I'll untap and I'll take my draw. I'm not sure how much better the opportunity will get, so I'm gonna cast a Glorybringer and hit you for 4.
Boink me in the face.
Of course, I'm not exerting because that would be foolish.
That would be very silly.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna untap. I'm gonna draw. Might as well try to give you a reason to exert. I'm going to. He's back from his adventure. He's murdered enough people.
Welcome back.
Play a Murderous Rider. Play a Swamp and pass the turn to you.
I don't buy the whole give you a reason to exert, Carl. I'll take my draw, and I'd like to move to combat.
You may.
I'll exert!
Oh, okay, he's dead.
He's dead.
He goes underneath.
Yeah, on another adventure.
On another adventure, probably. I don't know what's underneath my deck. I'll take 4.
All right.
2. Ouch.
Down to 2. I'm just gonna play it slow here, because there's no reason for me to stomp right now. I may still stomp during Carl's upkeep to waste more of his mana, and I can go for my Love-Struck Beast first. No reason to rush it. Man, that exert, quite good. I like it. I'll play a Forest.
Yes.
I'll send a Love-Struck Beast on a completely different kind of adventure. Does that resolve?
So if you have a Stomp or a Chandra in your hand, I'm dead. But if I let this resolve, I need to draw a board wipe. Do you have another Bonecrusher Giant? I will negate your Love-Struck Beast.
It is negated. Unfortunately, it goes into the grave.
Please don't stomp me.
Yeah, I guess I even have to do that now. I'll stomp you.
No, yeah, I mean, I just asked you not to. I'm dead. I go to 0.
You do.
Next game.
Game 2. For sideboarding, I take out all the Mizzium Mortars and 1 Abrade, and instead bring in 3 Shifting Ceratops, an amazing threat against Carl. Hasty, can't be countered, protection from blue, it's awesome. It could only get better if it has protection from black too, to dodge spot removal. Anyways, and I also bring in 2 Cinder Vines, which are great against, you know, all the Considers, Dig Through Times, removal spells, Narsets in Carl's deck. I don't want to take out all of my Abrades. I could bring in additional Cinder Vines, but I don't want to take out all of my Abrades in case there's a Gear Hulk or a Murderous Rider.
Our main board, when you look at it originally, you think, wow, this deck is really bad against the Gruul deck. But it really depends on what you draw. Sure, control decks need to be very powerful in general, and I'm missing a lot of the more powerful spells, but the negates are surprisingly good against all of his adventure cards because they come in as spells originally before they're creatures. They're non-creature spells, so he can hit them with the negates. So we're going to keep those in. All we're taking out is the Narsets because we're not preventing him from drawing anything, and we really need the action. So we're taking those out and we're replacing them with 2 Borgwai. Languished, almost everything he plays is toughness 4 max. So luckily he'll get rid of everything. We're also going to take out one of the mystical disputes because he's not playing any blue spells. I'd just rather replace it with a card that's a little bit more relevant. Go Blank is not great against Jamin, but because he'll keep the bigger mana cost spells in his hand, hopefully we get him on a turn where he plays land, taps 2 dorks, and then just has like a Glorybringer and a Chandra in hand. Also, it gets rid of his graveyard a bit for Scavenging Ooze. So your creatures, Jamin?
Yeah.
They're too hasty. I'm going first.
All right.
They're too scary.
Someone in the YouTube comments recently pointed out that they like play well better than good luck as like a before game thing to wish on your opponent, because good luck is often not meant sincerely.
I mean, play well just sounds like you're criticizing someone's play skill.
Yeah. Also, I also don't mean that one sincerely, because from my end,
I hope you play really bad.
I hope you play really badly
Also,
so I can win.
I actually hope you have great luck so we have a fun game and then I win it anyways. This hand is actually pretty solid. Yes, it has 2 lands. That's not great. But I have spot removal for his early creatures. I've got Censor, which Yamin's forced to tempo out and usually curve out on every one of his turns, so I'm pretty sure it can snipe any of his creatures. Then I've got 2 Sabotages eventually to hit his heavy hitters, and I can just cycle that Censor or get into more lands. I'm pretty confident this is a good hand. I will keep because I have Zoto luck.
This hand's awesome. It's got Ramp, it's got double Chandra, which are great threats against Carl, and then to top it all off, the Ceratops to deliver the final blow. Perfect. Yeah, I'll keep 2. My hand's fine.
So then I'll kick things off with a Temple of Deceit. I feel very Dimir right now.
Yeah, wow.
I'm gonna look at the top card. I think I like it there. It's your turn.
I will draw. Oh, that's handy. I'll play a Forest and an Elvish Mystic.
That's rude.
Go ahead.
I'll untap. I'll draw. You know what they say about birds. Not many people say this, but Magic players do. I'll bolt it. It's funny how none of these cards are a bolt or a bird, but the old adage stays. I'll pass the turn to you.
I'll untap. I'll draw. Ooh, this actually gives me a decision. And I think the correct call is to play a mountain and send a Lovestruck Beast on an adventure.
Oh, well, someone's waiting for him behind. A human.
A human. Go ahead.
I will play a Consider.
Sure.
Look at the top card. You know what? I think I want this top card.
All right.
I'll draw it.
Less fodder for dig through time.
Indeed. I'll untap. And now I'm just gonna play out an island and wait.
Interesting. So it's my turn?
Yes, it is.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I'll play a Karplusan Forest and attack with that human.
The beats have begun.
First blood.
Beats by human.
I'll cast that Lovestruck Beast.
I think I will censor that.
Can't say anything these days.
You can't, no. Lovestruck Beast, the F word.
Go ahead.
I'll draw. I will play another temple. It was good the first time. Look at the top card. I do think I would like to have that one, so it stays there.
Okay.
Pass the turn to you.
You're keeping a bunch of cards on top this game.
I've got a card with a deck with a bunch of good cards.
Now, this smells an awful lot like interaction, Carl. How do I get around that? I think my best bet is to first attack with this human.
18.
Quality music delivered to you. And now I'll play Mountain. And I will cast a Bone Crusher Giant.
You just go ahead and cast it?
Yeah.
I'm truly unfond of that, so I will sinisterly sabotage it. I'll Surveil, but I like the top card. So it's staying there.
Wow, how do you know that without even looking at it, Carl?
I see through sleeves.
So my plan last turn was to put emphasis on this human token so you don't counter the beast and instead remove the human somehow, because I have a follow-up 1/1, an Elvish Mystic.
Master Manipulator, Jamin Carl.
Go ahead.
I'll untap, I'll draw. I will play this Field of Ruin, and the turn will be yours.
Man, playing against control, always the same.
So much fun.
So much fun. I'll head into the red zone.
I go to 16.
Slow but steady, and I will play a forest and cast a Chandra.
No, 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 amigo. That's not staying on the board.
But does it get to enter the board at least?
No, not even.
Oh.
It's not even getting through the bouncer. I'm going to Sinister Sabotage that, which counters it.
Yeah.
And I'll Surveil 1. It's not a good card, but I need it. So it's going to stay on top.
Interesting. Go ahead.
On top. I'll draw for turn. I'll play a Field of Ruin. I hear the rock music starting because I'm going to hard cast a Shark Typhoon.
Man. Oh, wow.
For those of you who've only seen this make a cycle into a shark token, it's an enchantment that costs 6, and whenever I cast a non-creature spell, I create an XX blue shark creature token with flying, where X is that creature's converted mana cost. And I'll pass the turn to you. I don't even know if this was the correct play, but it's definitely the most fun play.
It is. Hard casting Shark Typhoon just feels like when you untap, it's just so much fun. Unfortunately, it shared a standard format with Teferi, which is like annoying against it. Like you just bounce it.
Yes, but this was really good against Teferi because it's the only thing you could cycle on their turn, acted kind of like a spell, and take down the Teferi with the shark.
Exactly.
Is a really interesting play.
You know what's also a really interesting play?
You didn't bring in enchantment removal, did you?
The Shark Typhoon's kind of scary, but Carl is tapped out this way, and I've got a full turn to develop Chandra onto my board and then start putting on the pressure that way. I will tap 4. Cast Chandra.
Oh, well, yeah, that's an interesting play.
I'm quite lucky with drawing these mythics. I'll tick her up, exile the top card of my library. Another forest.
I go to 14.
Down to 14 and make that 12 because
I'll go to 12.
my creatures are coming in hot.
They
Go
are.
ahead.
All in tap. I'll draw. That Chandra is a pain. I can afford to do this now. I'm going to cast another Consider.
Sure.
It's going to come with a 1/1 shark. Luckily, we have a lot of dice.
So we can indicate the power and toughness.
I will look at the top card, I'll put it in my graveyard, and I'll draw. And then, right now, while we're at it, I'm going to destroy a Completion Forest.
I'll float 1 colorless mana.
Sure. I'll get an island.
I'll get a forest.
Very nice. And the turn will be yours.
All right. So now, the worst thing that could happen is a dig through time, because that has a converted mana cost of 8. I'd hate to see that, but I'll just make the best of what I can. All right, Carl, first things first.
Tick her up, down.
I think I have to tick her up, exiling the top card of my library. Ooh!
Ooh, that's a pretty good one.
That's a very good one. Do I take the opportunity to cast it? Yeah, I'll cast it. It's on the stack?
That resolves.
Nice, okay. So, assuming there is a dig through time, I can't attack. You came prepared, Carl, is what I assume. Yeah, I'll just pass the turn. You do you.
You're a smart man, Jamin. I don't have a dig through time.
You don't!
But you played around a lot of stuff. If not, I would have cast it here. First, I'm going to attack Chandra.
That doesn't make any sense, Carl. I mean, this smells like a board wipe, so I'm gonna block.
Okay, my shark's dead.
I like my Chandra.
And then I'm going to play a Languish. It's gonna make a shark. It's a 4/4.
Yeah, nice.
And
nice
then
shark.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I hope nothing bad happens to it.
No, I hope so
All
too.
creatures get -4/-4. No, my shark!
Ow!
And then I'll play an island and pass the turn. That Chandra's looking real mean.
She is. All right, untap, upkeep, draw. I will take up Chandra. Oh my goodness, Carl, look at the amount of dice we still have available.
Look at the amount of dice on Chandra.
That one is going straight on an adventure.
Okay, how many cards do you have in hand?
3.
So you're not going to cast another Chandra.
I won't.
I mean, that would be a pretty bad play.
It
You
would.
could have some stomps. This won't get better than this, I feel. I'm going to negate it.
Yeah,
It's going to make a shark,
it's pretty good use of a negate.
which is a 2/2 because negate costs 2.
Indeed. I'll play everyone's favorite from Throne of Eldraine. Tied for the most text. No, it's not even close.
Ah, that's a really good one.
good questing beast. Get in there. Can't even be blocked.
Yep. I go to 8.
You got an 8. Go ahead.
I'll untap. Oh, right. That's a lot of tokens on the Chandra. I'll draw. I'll attack Chandra for 2.
All right, let me check this textbook. It's really long.
There's a lot of that.
Does it say reach? It doesn't. Down to 5 Chandra go.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was hidden somewhere in there.
No, seriously, reach is like the most overlooked keyword.
And I'll pass the turn to
of
you.
all time. Ooh, I like the sound of that. All right. I'll draw. So now that Carl has mana available, Dig Through Time is very scary, and I don't know if he has one in hand. An 8/8 is really hard for me to beat, but I still have that Ceratops, which I'm keeping in my hand for the final hasty blow, right? No need to waste that early. I guess first things first, I'll just check the top of my library. Another Glorybringer?
That's a pretty good one.
Oh, that's really good. But I had another good play lined up, Carl.
Oh, the decisions.
Yeah, the decisions. I'm going to cast the Glorybringer.
Seems good.
All right. How good are your top decks? If you draw a removal spell, it's fine. Yeah, I'll head into the red zone with both of them, exhorting the Glorybringer to kill the shark.
You can pull it out of this. That's the old trick.
Oh, there have been so many tricks with marking exhortation.
Yeah, they gave us a little paper at first, but no one used that.
Nah. My go-to is either turning it upside down or turning it to the left, because I usually tap my stuff to the right.
So, before blocks, I'm going to tap 2. Exile 6 cards from my graveyard.
You're doing the Toffle thing, Carl.
Dig Through Time.
Stop it. You're doing the Toffle thing.
He's not here. I took his seat.
Ah, top deck.
This will make me have 8/8 shark.
Well, unfortunately, our dice don't go up that high.
Nope, that's okay. We've got enough to make 2. I'm going to look at the top 7 cards.
No, it just looks like a 4/4 shark.
And I will put these 2 into my hand.
This is so bad.
I don't really want to take 4. So, I'm going to then take 2. Play a Murderous Rider.
Yeah.
Targeting your Love-Struck Beast? No,
Questing
Beast.
It's a different
so
kind
many
of beast.
beasts.
Yeah.
Some of them quest, some of them love. It's going to go on an adventure.
Yep, sure.
I get a 3/3. Then I will go to blocks.
Sure.
I'll block the 4/4.
Yeah.
With a huge shark.
Ah, this went so bad.
And I'll pass the turn to you.
It's still my turn. We're in my combat,
right.
Carl.
It just felt like I was taking so many game actions.
I'll play a mountain and cast a Scavenging Ooze.
That's good against my graveyard.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm at 6. I'm going to start off by paying 1 to destroy your Scavenging Ooze.
I can't catch a break from those top decks, dude. Like, oh.
Then I'm going to attack Chandra for 4 and you for 3.
This is for 8.
For 8. 4 twice.
Yeah, 4 twice.
And you for 3, you go to 17.
Sure.
You have 1 card in hand?
Yeah.
I'll pass the turn to you.
All right. These circumstances are unfortunate. However, I do have some great draws and a good card in my hand. And I think it's time to actually make use of that card. And hope you don't have another Murderous Rider or something. Shifting Circle.
That is a hell of a great card.
Can't be countered.
Can't be countered. Wait, I may have some decisions.
You may.
Oh well. That's okay.
Love to hear that. In that case, now I will pay 1, give it haste, and smash for 5.
I take 5.
Down to 1.
And go to 1.
Go ahead.
I would love to cast the Gear Hulk here and hit the Dig Through Time and make an 8/8 and bash Jamin in the face for lethal, but he has 2 annoying lands up and Stomp is lethal. So I can't do that. If he's got that Stomp, I have to just make him fear a counter spell. So I'm going to keep mana up. These plays are going to be quite awkward. I'll untap. I'll draw. Murderous Rider will come back from its adventure.
Yep.
It's murdered enough people.
Yeah.
I'm going to declare attacks.
Sure.
I will let you take 12.
Generous.
You go to 5.
I do.
And I pass the turn to you.
All right. I'll untap.
Please don't draw a Stomp. Please don't draw a Stomp. Please don't draw a Stomp.
I'll take my draw. That's not what I wanted to see.
Whew.
I mean, the way I stay alive is pretty straightforward. I'll give this Vigilance.
Yes.
I'll attack.
I will block.
I think I have to grant Trample.
Okay.
Like, you gain 2, you lose 2.
I stay at 1.
Yeah, this one goes to the bottom of your
Yes.
library.
Different kind of adventure. I remember that.
I just have to pass the turn.
All right, I'll untap. Still quite precarious. Draw. It's really annoying being at 1, Yamin. Not gonna lie here.
I can imagine.
I'll declare attacks.
Sure.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
I'll grant this reach.
It keeps on doing that. How does this have reach? Evolution has gone too far.
Yeah, evolution has gone too
yes, you'll take 4.
Yep.
And your shifting Ceratops will fight in a very Godzilla-like fashion a giant flying shark.
It will.
It did the trick last time. I'm going to pay 2.
Oh, not another murderous one.
I would like to use it to kill your Ceratops, but I'm at 1.
Yeah.
And that would be lethal for me.
Yeah.
So I will just play the Murderous Rider.
Another Murderous Rider means that I have to top deck something because otherwise, once again, the damage cancels out and the sharks are applying too much pressure.
And pass the turn to you.
So I have to draw something again.
Close.
How do you draw your black creature? All right, let's see. Let's see what's on top of my deck. I've got a few lethal outs I know of. Oh, that's not good, I don't think.
Either you're an amazing bluffer.
I'll give this Vigilance.
Yep.
I'll attack.
I'll block.
I'll give it Trample.
Same old, same old.
No.
Other day at the office and back at 1.
And it's your turn. That one goes to the bottom of their library.
It is the same old, same old. It's a glitch in the matrix. End of turn. I'm gonna consider.
Yep.
I got the dice, I didn't have enough sharks. It's a 1/1.
It is.
I will put it in the graveyard. It's a go blank. I'll draw.
Yep. Yep.
I'll untap. I'll draw. I will play a swamp.
You will.
I'll declare attacks.
Sure.
I'll attack with all of my sharks.
That's 13 damage and game 3.
Oh, wow.
Being on the play, I like Cindervines much better because that way I can deploy it before Carl has access to negate, and in general, just having it on the board earlier is of course big game against Carl. So I'm gonna take out 1 additional Abrade out of my main deck and put in 1 Cindervines from the sideboard.
Are you ready for a new flavor? You've not tasted this game yet?
Going first?
The play.
Yeah, yeah, I will take the play.
All right, good luck. I hope we have a super fun game.
Play well, Carl.
I usually don't. I try.
My starting hand is a bit awkward because, once again, the mana base is really hurting me. I can't play the Llanowar Elves on turn 1 because of the tap land, but apart from that, the hand's awesome, so I'm gonna keep it. This is kind of awkward. I'll keep it.
This is pretty solid. I'd like a censor or a way to deal with non-creature spells, but I have a Fatal Push for any early creature. I have a board wipe, and eventually down the line I have a dig through time to refuel back up. I hope Yamin has a really aggressive early creature start. I think I'll keep mine as well. I like it. Okay, what you gonna do with the play?
Play tap land. Go ahead.
I'll play a swamp. End of turn step.
Nice. Take a draw. Top decking a forest is actually a big game for me because beforehand my choices were play 1 Llanowar Elves or play Scavenging Ooze, but now I have the choice of playing 2 Llanowar Elves, which is much, much, much better against Fatal Push from Carl. I'll play a Karplusan Forest.
I always have trouble pronouncing that one.
I'll play Llanowar Elves.
Yes.
And then I'll take 1 and play an Elvish Mystic. Down to 19. First blow.
19, wow.
Go ahead.
I'll draw for turn. Usually you really want to kill the mana ramp creatures, but Yamin waited till turn 2 to cast 2 of them. So I'm not preventing a big early 3 drop, and whatever he plays, there's a chance we can get it with the Fatal Push anyways, or ideally he just curves out, taps all out his mana efficiently, gets a bunch of creatures on the board, and I eat it up with Languish. This is my chance for card advantage. I will play Drowned Catacombs and just ominously keep 2 mana open.
That is very suspicious, Carl. Let me untap, let me take my draw. Once again, same logic as last turn. Carl might have an interactive spell, probably a counter spell, so deploying the Cindervines plus the Ooze is much more potent than playing only the Chandra, because if he does have a counter spell, Chandra gets countered and my entire turn is wasted. Play a Mountain. And now, Carl, I really don't like one aspect about your game, and that's you casting non-creature spells. So I'll try to deploy a Cindervine.
Oh, that is so annoying.
Cindervines reads, whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, Cindervines deal 1 damage to the player, and for 1 mana I may sacrifice it and destroy target artifact or enchantment, and Cindervines deals 2 damage to that permanent's control.
I specifically kept my negates in for that card, and I currently find myself negateless.
Negateless, alright, so it enters the battlefield, no censoring to be done. Cindervines, 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 ha ha ha, I can say that word all I want. And then I'll follow that up with a Scavenging Ooze.
All right.
I'll attack with the Lana Wilds.
I believe that won't be the last time I take 1 damage this game.
Probably not. Go ahead.
The beats provided by Scavenging Ooze are a bit too much. I'll take 1
Ding.
again. 18.
18.
To kill the Scavenging Ooze. I'll draw. I will play a Field of Ruin.
Okay.
And the turn is yours. You know I'm playing control.
Yeah, I am. I am aware. Take my draw. Only playing Chandra is fairly risky in my opinion. What I'll do instead is I'll play Chandra plus her for mana and deploy the Scavenging Ooze, because if Carl murders Riders the Chandra that way and deploys the Rider, then at least I still have the Scavenging Ooze to really put on the pressure. It's a bit annoying, but I will cast the Chandra, Torch of Defiance.
That's a very good one. And you don't even take 1 for it.
I don't. I will plus her to generate 2 mana.
Yes.
I'll use 1 of that to cast a Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah, those were good.
So I'm now hand cardless, but I do have quite the board. I don't think you're casting Dig Through Time anytime soon, so for now I'll attack with the Lanoa Elf.
I will go to 17.
Exactly. Go ahead.
I will cycle a Shark Typhoon.
Oof, that doesn't even deal a point of damage to you.
No, it does not. It does make a 1/1 Shark.
You do know that you could also hardcast that.
I need a lot more mana.
Yeah.
I will draw a card for Shark Typhoon. I'll draw a card for turn. I'll attack Chandra for 1.
All right, she goes down to 4.
She unfortunately
isn't affected by Languish.
You just see through cards, Yamin. Through sleeves.
Having a 4 on a card is very reminiscent of Languish.
I'm gonna take 1 damage.
It's 16.
16, yeah. And hope that I win the top deck war.
Let's see about that. May I
Go ahead.
tap?
Yes.
I'll draw. Ooh!
Was it a good one?
It was, I don't think it's like game decidingly good, but it's a fine one. But first I'll check what's beneath it. That's an Abrade, won't cast that one. Down
I take 2, 14.
You go. I will cast another Cinder Vines.
Feels good.
Go ahead. Yeah, feels very good for me, but not so good for you.
Draw. Life is tough. I will play another Field of Ruin.
Yep.
And pass the turn to you.
I'll untap. I'll draw.
Yes.
I'll keep plussing Chandra.
So you go to I go to possibly 12.
Oh, no! Oh, I'm so stupid. Yeah, you go to 12. I'll play a Forest.
Oh no! You know when I wished you luck?
Yeah, I haven't played with Chandra in so long, Carl. Go ahead.
End of turn. I'm gonna go look for some ways to kill Chandra.
Ding! Down to 10 you go.
I go to 10. I will exile 3 cards from my graveyard and pay 5.
Sure.
I will get these 2 cards.
Sure.
Put the rest in the bottom. I'll untap. I am going to keep on taking. I'll take 4 damage.
Yep, you will.
That's a Chandra I really need to get. I'll go to 6.
Down to 6.
And I will unfortunately take 2 more down to 4.
Down to 4.
To shock myself with a Water Grave. Pass the turn to you.
I will take my draw. I'll cast a Lanoel.
That's fine.
Alright, go ahead.
End of turn. I will get rid of the non-Complution Forest. Play an island.
I'll grab a forest.
My life total is pretty low, Yamin. I'll draw.
Yep.
All my spells hurt me a lot.
Most of your spells.
Most of my spells. I'm gonna play another Field of Ruin. And I will run out my Murderous Rider.
Yeah, that's one of the spells that doesn't hurt you.
And I'll pass the turn to you. It also gains me life.
Yeah. I'll draw. Yeah, I mean, the way you're keeping up mana, I'm just gonna run this out. Ceratops. Jackpot. Ding, ding, ding.
That is very good right now.
Well drawn, Jamin.
Yes,
well
that
drawn.
resolves.
I'll grant haste.
Yes.
I'll attack.
I will take 2. And Heartless Act it.
Down to 2 you go.
Down to 2 indeed.
It's dead. Go ahead.
I will not cast any spells, because if not, I am very dead. I'll draw. I'll attack you for 2.
Sure.
You go to 17? I go to 4. Oh,
Yep.
cozy 4.
Cozy 4.
Feels good.
What else can you hope for?
I'm gonna play a Swamp and pass the turn to you.
I'll untap. I'll take my draw. Yeah, Land Worlds will come into the red zone.
That puts me to 3. That's icky. I go to 3.
And then I will go for a Scavenging Ooze.
That hurts my graveyard much too much. I'm gonna have to Sinister Sabotage that.
Down to 1 you go.
I'll Surveil. I'll put that in my graveyard.
Go ahead.
I will get rid of your Complusion Forest.
Yep.
I'll get an island. It's sad because I'm reducing the amount of lands you can draw, but I need cards in my graveyard and I need colored mana to not have that watery grave incident happen again.
Yeah.
I'll untap.
Sure.
Draw. I'm at 1. I'll attack you for 2.
Down to 15, up to 3.
And I will pass the turn.
I'll untap.
Yes.
I will draw. What is this? Oh, the beats keep on coming. I'll try for a Ceratops.
Wow, you're real good at that. Yes, that resolves.
You're on 3, right?
I am at 3.
Now, here's a sticky situation.
Whew, this goes down really close, and it all depends on what Jamin decides to do and how he attacks. If he attacks with both the Llanowar and the Cyclo Dinosaur, then I can play Torrential Gearhulk, kill the dinosaur with a black removal spell, eat that Llanowar Elves, attack for 2 afterwards with the Murderous Rider, gaining the life, and then Jamin is in trouble. I don't think he can get back from that. But if he keeps the green mana open...
Yeah, I think the way this played out, I have to grant it haste. And then I can either attack only with the Ceratops, which is better against the Torrential Gearhulk, or I can attack with the Ceratops and the Llanowar Elves, which is much better against a single spot removal spell. Yeah, just head into the red zone like that. Yeah, this makes sense.
I know how this is going to play out, but we'll run through the motions anyways. I'll play Torrential Gearhulk. It currently can't block your Triceratops.
It can't.
So, usually,
Resolve.
Cozy Carl. I'm going to target a Heartless Act.
Resolves.
Kills big beasts.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to kill your big beast. I'm going to take 2.
So those triggers go on the stack?
Yes.
I'll let those triggers resolve.
I go to 1.
You go to 1, and then in response to the spell itself...
You can at least let it die.
No, I won't. I'm not in for that. I like my Ceratops on the battlefield. In response to the spell, I'll sacrifice my Cinder Mines, targeting your artifact.
It dies. What happens when it dies?
Not even when it dies, just in general, you take 2 damage.
Good games.
Thank you. Good games.
You are smarter than we give you credit. Not that we think you're dumb or anything, but you not attacking with that Llanowar Elf was very, very clever.
I mean, I've played a bunch of Kaladesh Standard, and I can smell a Torrential Gearhulk coming from miles away.
It does take a lot of space. They are quite big. Oh, those Cinder Vines are wild.
Yeah, not very sneaky.
Anyways, you know what else is wild? Pioneer Precons, and there's 4 of them. That was 2 of them. They were pretty fun. There's 2 more next week. There's Orzhov Humans and Is it Phoenix, which are very, very fun decks. We're going to play against them against each other.
Absolutely, and we'll see who comes out on top. To make sure you don't miss that video, make sure to subscribe below. Also, I don't know, let us know what kind of content you'd like to see on the channel, because, you know, we like to get creative.
Yeah, maybe there's more pre-cons that you want to see us play. Maybe there's a weird format we've never heard about. We won't know it unless you tell us in the comments. And in the meantime,
yeah, we'll see you in the next video.